Millions of dollars left on the table.
That is a lot of people who could use that money.
Tens of thousands of Coloradans haven't cashed their Tabor refund check, while others are still waiting to get them.
Contact Denver 7's digging for answers from the state.
We're encouraging people to call us, to talk to us, so that we can reissue those checks.
One car in Colorado is the hot target for thieves.
When me and my husband got it back, it was just trash.
Now manufacturers are stepping in. However, the security fix will cost you.
I think they'll cost $200 to $300.
And a bear in Highlands Ranch drinks a bit too much hard cider.
First tonight, we begin with breaking news. Both of the finalists for Aurora's next chief of police are now out.
In a statement just into the Denver 7 newsroom, the city of Aurora says David Franklin withdrew after a 3-day final selection process. And then right before the newscast, city says Scott Ebner, quote, did not have the necessary support to proceed in this process. This is happening as multiple city leaders and members of the community spoken out against this hiring process since those candidates were announced last month. And
in their statement, Aurora acknowledges that people across the community have different ideas on who they want to see lead APD. City Manager Jim Twombly says he's, quote, listened to a lot of feedback from community members and city council, and he added that he wants to make sure whoever is chosen be held to serving every member of the community equitably. Denver 7 has been closely following this search for Aurora's next police chief. We will bring you the very latest tonight on Denver 7 News at 10 and on denver7.com. Well, here's a question. Where is my Tabor check and why haven't I gotten it? It is a question that Contact Denver 7 keeps getting about those checks that were issued back in August.
So we dug deeper and found more than 200,000 Tabor checks that were issued still haven't been cashed. Contact Denver 7's Jacqueline Allen in the studio with that tonight.
And I know the state asked people to be patient until the end of September, but you're finding that patience is running out.
Well, and it's understandable. We want to give you some context here. In the last 2 months, the state has paid out more than $2 billion as part of the Colorado Cashback Program. And listen, 91% of those Tabor checks have been cashed, but that still leaves hundreds of thousands that have not. So people are reaching out to Contact Denver 7 saying, where's my money?
The economy is really hard.
Jolene Merritt says she watches every penny. And these days, gas costs more and groceries and bills. So when she heard about the Tabor check coming her way,
Extra $750 of my tax dollars that I paid in would be nice to have.
But when she still didn't have her check at the end of August, she called to find out why.
And they said my check had been returned because I have a P.O. box for delivery. And I didn't put that on my tax return because I get direct deposit. They said it could be up to 8 weeks to reissue a new check.
On social media, she's in good company, with others posting their checks were also not in the mail as of this week.
After a while, everyone got theirs. No one had not gotten theirs. And so I knew something was up at that point.
The state mailed checks instead of doing direct deposit to prevent fraud and enable forwarding. But Contact Denver 7 has learned more than 221,000 Tabor checks have not been cashed. About 55,000 of those have been returned to the Department of Revenue.
We want to work with them.
Executive Director Mark Ferrandino points out only 2% of checks have been returned, and the state needs those people to call the Colorado Cashback Hotline.
We know we issued it to the wrong address because that's the address we had on file. We don't know the new address. So we can't just go mail it out. We have to wait for you to come and call us so that we can go and reissue that to you.
This isn't a stimulus or something the government's doing to help us out. This is our money that wasn't spent through the budget.
After Contact Denver 7 reached out, Jolene says a DOR supervisor called her to say her check is being reissued, but still no word on a timeline. She's hoping at least to have some extra money for Christmas.
Don't spend the money until it's in your pocket.
And if you still haven't received your check and waited until September 30th, like the state asked, you can contact the Colorado Cashback Call Center hotline at the number here on your screen. It does take some time to go through the extended affidavit process, though, and get those checks reissued. And you found that people who want the checks but haven't filed their taxes yet, they have time to still do this, but time's running out quickly here. That's right. And this is really important because the deadline is October 17th at midnight to file your extended tax 2021 tax return. And even if you had no income, you can still get this rebate because this is a sales tax refund. So all of that information is on the Department of Revenue's website. Some credit to the Department of Revenue, too. This program came together fast and has been largely successful. But for those people waiting for their checks, it has been tough to hear about everyone else getting theirs.
Absolutely.
Shannon?
A lot of money on the table there. Nice work, Jacqueline, tonight.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Now, going deeper tonight, a slightly smaller Tabor refund could be coming in 2023. Last month, it was announced that Colorado's tax collections through June reached historic levels, and that means the state must issue another rebate under the Taxpayer Bill of Rights. It is estimated that Coloradans could get anywhere from $160 to about $500 in refunds. Of course, that number can change, and the amount would be based on income. And the Tabor refund also won't likely come as a mailed check as it did in August. Now, I reached out to the state for details on that. They said taxpayers could simply pay less on their state tax return, or they'll get a larger overall tax refund check next year if they don't owe any state taxes. A final decision on how that money will be issued will be decided in the coming months.
A 17-year-old will be charged as an adult for allegedly shooting and killing a man while driving on I-70.
31-year-old Kevin Piaskowski was killed in that shooting back in July, and the person who shot him fled the scene. Well, then in August, police arrested 17-year-old Jaleel James, and today it was announced that James will be charged with first-degree murder. What led up to that shooting, we don't know. Police have sealed the affidavit, which would have given us some context.
Aurora city leaders are in San Antonio tonight for a two-day trip to learn more about how that city tackles homelessness. City Council member Juan Marcano tweeted out a photo this afternoon saying he's on his way to Haven of Hope. It's a 22-acre shelter in San Antonio that focuses on getting people into homes and substance abuse treatment. And I spent some time on Haven of Hope's website this afternoon, learned a little bit more about their approach. Now, the center says 92% of people they have helped remained in permanent housing after 1 year. Haven of Hope says their focus is on a variety of social services, and that's key to getting people off the streets and into stable housing. Just last month, Aurora leaders were in Houston to see how that city approaches homelessness. Aurora City Council will discuss what they have learned from these trips later this month.
And back here in Denver, the city will soon be opening this new housing and healthcare facility for people experiencing homelessness. We stopped by today as crews were moving new mattresses inside. The Renaissance Legacy Lofts broke ground early last year, finally set to open its doors this Thursday. The Colorado Coalition for the Homeless says this site will provide health care needs for 500 people who are experiencing homelessness annually. They'll do that on the lower floors, with the upper floors containing 98 affordable housing units. And to give you some context here, funding for the new lofts and care facility is coming from Denver tax revenue. It cost $46.5 million to get this project off the ground.
And Denver City Council's approved more than $10 million to pay for infrastructure upgrades in the Sun Valley neighborhood. The neighborhoods, this is just north of the Broncos Stadium, and the money will go towards street and utility improvements.
A little more than 4,000 cars are stolen in Colorado every month.
Incredible. And if that doesn't shock you, Colorado also is on pace to reach a record high for auto thefts this year.
As Denver 7 CB Cotton found out, some vehicle manufacturers are now stepping in to try and curb that trend.
The easiest way that they were able to start my car at this point is with a flathead screwdriver.
You heard that right. A screwdriver is all Sharice Ryan needs to start her Hyundai Sonata. This comes after a thief was captured on surveillance, stealing the car from in front of her Broomfield home in early August.
I suspected that I was part of the TikTok trend.
The viral challenge using the hashtag Kia Challenge or Kia Boys shows videos of people removing steering columns from certain Kia models and then using USB cables to start the ignition. Certain Hyundais have also been targeted.
Kias and Hyundai Elantras are being stolen.
Ryan says the condition her car was found in 10 days later confirms her suspicions.
I bought it brand new. I paid it off last year, and then somebody took advantage of my car and destroyed it.
She's not the only one who's had their car taken advantage of. The rash of Hyundai thefts prompting the manufacturer to release a security kit this month that can be purchased and installed at dealerships. And Kia telling Denver 7 it's providing steering locks to law enforcement for free.
A little late for me, you know.
Colorado's industry experts are urging other Kia and Hyundai owners to act now.
These cars, if without the fix, will always be suspect for vehicle theft.
Ryan says these photos were taken after her car was recovered by Lakewood police. In them, power tools, trash, and even a meth pipe.
Now my car is destroyed and I don't have something to drive.
CB Cotton, Denver 7.
All right, so what does this mean if you are a Kia or Hyundai owner in Colorado? Well, for one, it means your insurance rates could go up. Today, I chatted with Carol Walker, who's the executive director of the Rocky Mountain Insurance Association, and she told me it's not just higher rates you have to worry about.
And different from canceling insurance is if you own one of these vehicles, the insurance company is looking upon renewal or purchase of these vehicles. Certain companies are saying, we can't insure them. We can't price it so high that we could not pass that on to other customers. So there are some companies that aren't insuring these vehicles, but there's a lot of insurance companies out there, even higher risk insurers, but likely you're going to pay the premium for that.
So she says you should do whatever you can to keep your car from getting stolen. Park in a garage, lock your doors, don't leave valuables inside. And for the rest of us, she also says before you buy a car, you should research rates on that model first. Make sure the car you're looking to buy isn't at the top of the list of easy ones to steal.
For some reason, these girls really stood out as needing help.
3 wild horses in Weld County could use your help.
How you can make sure these future mothers get the care and nutrition they need.
It's just a hard situation because they don't deserve it.
Some scattered showers and thunderstorms continue right now, but looking ahead, the weather looks great for the Bronco game.
Key Largo, Montego, yeah, why don't we go? Denver now has a new nonstop flight to the tropics.
And the Broncos have a new running back hoping to fill a big hole before Thursday night's game.
Nah, I never hated the Broncos. I really never had a reason to.